Hello and welcome back to BBY Trader. Today, I'm gonna review the stock that will report tomorrow. However, right now we should take a look at the overnight market for Nvidia, minus 2.7%, CrowdStrike, minus 3.8, Snowflake, 13%. NetApp minus 5%, and HP minus 1.4. So not a lot. It's just Snowflake and NetApp got a bigger move, but Nvidia did not have that much of a move. All right, so now we've go back to the tomorrow company that will report. And first, I will start with TD, Toronto Dominion Bank. So you can say that for short term, it is overbought as well as long term. And let me see. Okay. So we can see that here will be the resistance. Most likely we will have a pullback to probably 100. However, if the number coming really good, we might see 109 and touching to test the last high. And that was in February 22. So it's been a long way. Now it's going to test. So for a rally, I would say about 40%. For a pullback, we will have about 60% to about 100. Okay. So you can see if we look at it, it's right at, it's trying to break out. A lot of time it will break out and then come back and retest. But either way, I still see 100 will be a good level to pull back to. All right, next we have Canadian Imperial Bank of Commerce. Same thing. Short term is a little bit overbought. Long term is overbought. It is rally about 50%. So for the short term, okay, so we have something like this, and look like it is at a high point. For a pullback, I would say it will be about 60%. It will come down to about 71. Okay. And for a rally, when number coming good and positive outlook, we might see it as 80. Actually, it should be 79, but I'll put 80 as a an even number. I don't see anything too obvious. All right. Next, we have Dollar General. All right. So last I predicted it's gonna jump up to 114. That day it came up pretty close, like 113. And then you can see after that it moved sideways, pull back, bounce, and now coming back to test the blue line. All right, so it's oversold short term. Long term is still overbought. All right, so here, this is what I see right away, which is the bull flag right here. Okay, so let me remove these lines for now. Okay. All right, the red will be the resistance for the range when it rally up to 122. All right. I would say this will be about 60% of a rally. A pullback will be 40% down to 102. So bull flag give it a little bit like 5%. So I would say about 65% of a rally, 35% of pullback. Right now I don't see anything, so it's oversold right at support and got a bull flag, so 65% sound to be right. All right, so we'll check tomorrow. Lee Auto oversold, you can see right away on the chart, both long and short term, and you can see this is the bear flag. If I sketch this, all right, so this will be a support where if it goes too far to, I would say about 35%, and that is at $21. We have a lot, so I will move as fast as I could. And for a rally, when number coming decent, just need to be decent, and outlook is neutral or positive, we might see 26 at about 65%. All right, let me see. So that's the line. All right, Dick's Sporting Goods overbought long and short term. So I expect a pullback. Okay, so let me remove this. Okay, remove all this line. All right, if the number coming good, we might see it go up. I would say about 246. At only, I would say 35%. For 65%, we might see it coming down to 202 at about 65%. Okay, so let's do a quick trend line. So it will help us to basically determine where it is. So look like if you see it here, right? For the past 2 days, you can see it tried to head higher, but it touched the resistance pullback. Touch resistance pullback. So that is a little bit bearish, but still we don't know. More of a pullback, but just like anything, probably it will carry it. Burlington store, short term a little bit overbought, long term's overbought. Okay, you can see in a way this is like a bull flag. The only thing is it didn't really move much, but went sideways. All right, so let's quickly draw the line. You can see it's in the wedge. So with normally it will go along, but with earning, usually it can go a lot more than normal. And I would say, okay, so for I would expect more pullback at about 60%, 40%. We have a bounce. Okay, and 295. All right, next we have Hormel Foods. Again, I see right away here is the bear flag, even though it does not carry out. But if I think if you switch to now if we switch to the long term, you can see right away a little bit better. So we got this, go down, boom. All right, now we switch back. Got a funky, but still in the what's wrong? All right, so bear flag. Let me draw it again. There you go. Okay, so the trend for short term, we have something like this, right? All right. So in a way, it bounced here at the support. Now coming back, let me see. Okay, look like it went down a lot back to maybe 10 years ago. That's low. So more chance of a bounce. So if the number coming just decent or a little bit with positive outlook, we might see 31.5 at about I would say 65-70%. No, 60%. Why? Let me tell you, because of the bear flag. So I would say 60% of a bounce. About, let me see, when to say 27. The $27 target for a pullback at about 40%. Okay, so the bear flag might take over and take it down. So we need to look, but more chance of a bounce. All right, Best Buy. Overbought short term, a little bit, not that much. Look like it did not bounce that much. And you can see it hit a gear again. And if I put the line, it go through a lot of pivot point. Okay, so no. So in a way, we got the short term range channel, and it does want to break out. But due to the overbought, I see more of a pullback to 63 at about 60%. 40% of a bounce to $81. So it's still decent, not too bad. All right, next would be DELL. Short term oversold, long term overbought. You can see it got a bear flag right here. Not a lot, but still. Short term look like it's still moving up. Okay, and it, let me, okay, so it's moving higher, came down here, broke down, trying to come back. So a lot of time it will come back and tag this line, right? So if it does, we might see 138 at about, I would say, 45% only. Even though it's oversold, but because of bear flag, it takes about 5% away. For a pullback to probably down here, 114, about 60%. Okay, still decent for a bounce, but a lot of time when it breaks down, it will come back and tag it. So you never know, maybe tomorrow the number coming better and outlook get a little bit better for maybe data center, and it might come in and bounce. MRVL look like it's recovered, but not much from the last drop. So short term and long term, you kind of like neutral. Bear flag right here. For short term trend, I see something like this. So bouncing between the orange line, broke down, trying to come back and tag this. And if it does, then it will come up there. Otherwise, we might see 59, 50 at about, because bear flags, I would say 60%. But the bear flag and coming back test kind of cancel it out. So this have bear flag 5%, 10% more, but coming back and test this line also 5-10% more. So I would say 55% of a pullback, and for a bounce, you will try to come up here at 85, about 45%. So not too bad. All right, Autodesk. Yeah, it's oversold short term and long term. Okay, I can see that right away. 273. It has a bear flag. Short term trend channel like this. Okay. All right. So 273 will be a pullback target for about 298. I would say it will bounce about 60%, 40% pullback. Nothing too crazy, but it does have a good chance to bounce back and test this. Unless a number not good, we might see 273 or as low as 256. So we will see. All right, affirm. Okay, so I was looking at this and I say, I was here. I say more likely we see of a bounce, a pullback and bounce. And look at this. Even though for this earning it came down, but it's actually bounced, come up to your text around 60, right? 58 something, pull back and then bounce. Just like how my arrow went and then keep going. Okay, now we want to see what we have in store for this. Okay. All right. So this is the next level, would be a resistance. So if it bounce, most likely it will hit 82. I would say short term and long term overbought, so only about 35%. For a pullback at about 65%, we might see it test this 62, which is a big range to hit, but you never know. It might hit here at 67. Actually, 67 seems to be a little bit better, but 62 is not out of question. But this is more realistic, about 12% drop. Right, so more of a drop. ULTA. All right, let me see. Okay, so look like you can see if it's overbought, right? And this is long term. You can see it's almost coming back here already, right? So if I put the resistance, it will be right there. Now I go back and I look at this. For the trend, okay. All right. More chance of a pullback at around 498 or 65%. For a rally, a bounce to 551 at about 35%. It might hit it. Okay, so look like it's, yeah, it went a lot. So most likely we might have a pullback. Gap. Short term and long term. Oh no. Short term is overbought, but long term is oversold. A little bit oversold, but not much. You can see that if you take this out, in a way it kind of moves sideways, but a little bit lower. For a midterm, line hit like that. So in a way, it hitting the resistance. So more chance of a pullback at about, I would say 55, 60%. A pullback to 20. Forty, 45% of a bounce and breakout. We might see 25. So if it gives pretty decent outlook, not too bad, not negative, but just neutral, and the number actually better than expected, we might see a bounce. All right, last one, and it's bull. Webull. You can see after the IPO, it went up a lot, and what happened? Go back to earth. But so we can see here. This is when I say it might come back to test 13, and guess what? It came out down here, bounce, and came back and test 13 right here. And then bounce, and in a way sideways right now. So short term is a little bit over, so long term a little bit overbought. So right now, if I okay, when it has a little data, it's harder to look at. But if we look at what we have here, you can see it seems like it's selling at 1450. Okay, so this is the trend line. I mean the channel, right? For short term. So it broke down, came back up to test, breakdown again. So if the number come in decent and good outlook, we might see it come up to 16 at about, actually it can even come up to 17. No, but 16 more probable. about 10%. So 16, I would say at about 60%. A pullback to 1290. So I'll just drag this over because it's actually about kind of the same. So about 13. Okay. So about 10% down, 10% up. But the chances are more of a pullback up here. I mean, a bounce, and only 40% of a pullback. So we will see how it is. All right, I think that's it for today. Thanks for watching. Hit a like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.